Hello.
Hello, indeed.
Sorry, I saw your intro. You okay with that?
That's okay. Right then, guys. Obviously, my fishing partner for this video needs no introduction whatsoever.
Please do, though.
Curly
In your own
Joe.
words.
Curly Joe. Nothing but fishing. If you don't know Joe by now, do you even fish?
Wow, it's been way too long since I've ever been on each other's vlogs. We've seen each other obviously at the vloggers matches. We've never specifically gone out together until now, which is insane.
Which is Joe has organised this one, guys. He's got in touch with
Guys at Catch. So this is, I'm sure you've seen it from your title and thumbnail, Angler's Paradise.
Yeah.
Currently Xanadu behind us, and down there is Fat Boys. And also the lake behind is also Fat Boys. But yeah, no, it's going to be hopefully a lovely little social, lots of fish, glorious weather.
Just us two lakes to ourselves. Yeah, like you said, Xanadu, Fanny Boy, Fan Boy.
Xanadu and Fat Boys, but you call it Fanny Boys if you want.
So we got 48 hours, guys, although we have already been fishing for a few hours.
Yes.
I got set up first because I just pub chucked. You spent a bit more time.
Loosely a bit of effort. So I had some pre-made solid bags that I wanted to try and use because we saw some fish in the first bay. Thankfully, an hour in, the blanker's already out the way, so it's just you to catch now. But it's an early start and nothing since, but I'm feeling good. 2 days of glorious sunshine, which is very welcome as well.
Spring is very much in the air, guys. It's lovely t-shirt weather. We've got sunny weather for the 48 hours we're here. No rain is forecast whatsoever.
And thankfully you put your top back on for this intro. That green mankini is not a good look, Chris, but let's go fishing.
Yeah, let's go fishing.
I jumped the gun, I'm sorry.
Oh no,
premature.
You went too quick. Oh. Mary, I'll say that.
Well, my firstborn did come very quickly.
Right then, guys, so we're in my swim now, so I thought I'd just go through briefly what I've done so far to get fishing. So first off, as Joe said on the intro, we're on a lake called Xanadu, but we've also got the use of the lake behind the camera, which is called Fat Boys. So these lakes are available on the Catch app, which are exclusive booking. There's 4 swims on this lake. Joe's in peg 2, I'm in peg 3, and there's another peg way off to my left, as you can guess, peg 4. Behind the camera, below us, there's a Fat Boys with just 2 swims on it, which is more of a runs water. This lake that we're on is set up to be a specimen water. When we got here, they told us there's 50 carp in this lake, to 30 pounds, something like that. The lake itself is probably 1.5 acres, 2 acres at the very most, I'd say. And like I said, as soon as you come down to the lake, there's the first swim, and then 2 swims on the side where me and Joe are, and then another swim on the side off to my left. So what have I done so far? Basically, just pub chuck to get fishing, and while I was getting all the camp up. So I'd say the width of the lake where I am is probably 8, 9 wraps, 10 I'd say at the very most. It's a very long but narrow lake. So yeah, so basically, so I've got the camera kind of set quite back to kind of get in the area where I'm fishing at the moment. So as I look at the lake, just to the right, I think I've just got it in shot, we have a small tree. I basically pub chucked 1 rig in that direction. There's an island off to my left, and in the other side of the lake, in sort of level with the island, there's an inflow pipe. Whether it's flowing or not, I don't know, but I've chucked my middle rod in that direction. And then what I did with me left hand rod, I've got it down the inside at the margin at the moment, and what I did, I just walked down the bank maybe 5-6 rod lengths to where there's a little bush. Just plop the rig in the near margin, walk the line back, so my left hand line is pretty much parallel with the kind of reeds down the left hand margin. To start off with, I'm just fishing simple rigs. I've got a lead clip system. Mounted to that, I've got a Gemini boom, one of the ones with a small ring on it, and then mounted to that I've got like one of the Corda, what they call it, a loop, which has got a curved shank hook, and I'm using a little yellow dumbbell wafter from Hinders, one of the new test ones that I caught on before when I was fishing at that course fishery. Very simple rig, and when I cast them out, all I did like a golf ball size mesh bag of mixed pellet and just hooked it on, simple hook on, and wanged them out. So, and I haven't touched my rods since. Whether I touch them again before night time, it's 5:15 now. We've got it's a lovely sunny day. Spring is very much upon us now. It's the last day of March today, and it's finally, it feels like spring has finally sprung. So t-shirt weather, it's very lovely. The clock's changed yesterday, so we have more lighter evenings now. So it's kind of Joe organised this really through the guys at Catch Up and with the people who, Anglers Paradise here. Joe got offered to do a kind of a feature video and to bring a mate with him. Unfortunately, he didn't have any mates that were available, so I come with him. Being very privileged that this session isn't costing me anything. This is through the fishery and the Catch Up and Joe that I'm on this session. All this session has cost me, it's just my fuel money to get here. So thanks for Joe, Anglers Paradise, and the guys at Catch for this. But so obviously nothing for me yet. Joe has had one. Before he set up his camp in Peg 2, he went and did a bit of fishing in Peg 1 because we saw some fish down there when we first arrived. So he just went down there with just a couple of rods, his landing net and an hooking mat, and he had one out of an inside margin. But so that's pretty much where we're at. So what I will do now is go back down and have a chat with Joe, and he can chat what he's done to get fishing. He's done a bit more than what I have, where mine's just been pub chucks. His has been a bit more involved with the way he's fishing, but we'll let him explain that in due course. But these are brand new lakes as well, by the way, guys. They've virtually not been fished or fished at all. We're told a father and son fished this lake last week and had one. But bearing that, me and Joe are pretty much the first ones to fish it properly. So again, that's a nice little privilege that we've got here as well. Did I say there's 50 carp in here? So so it's kind of low stocked, like I say, acre and a half, 50 fish. So I'd consider that low stock. Whereas opposed to the little lake behind us, I'd say it's a little bit smaller. And I think they said there's like 120 fish in the lake behind us. And also the lake, the other side of us is a cat lake, which is another new lake. I can't remember the name of it, but it's just a cat lake. It's almost on 3 levels. You've kind of got the cat lake, us, and then Fat Boys kind of below us, behind us. So, right, so that's kind of my explanation of what we've done so far. I know I've waffled on a bit much, but because it's new, just feel there's a kind of, we need to explain what we've got here, which is the whole point of us being here. It's to kind of get something out on social media because this is new. So right, we'll go and have a chat with Curly now and see what he's been up to. Right then guys, so we've come down to Joe's swim, peg 2 as I've just previously mentioned, and yeah, so he's going to kind of tell us what he's done so far.
Yeah, can I just say, I don't always pose like this, facing the wrong way in the lake. I have just filmed a piece of my camera as well, but pretty much the opposite of what you've done is I've actually thought through what I'm doing in my session. So,
will you say mine isn't thought through?
What, pub chucks?
It's a thought through pub
Yeah,
chuck.
I guess, yeah, I take it back. I'm sorry, Chris, you look offended. But no, a lot more of a long-winded method with mine is that I'm using wash and line methods on the left and right rod. If you've never seen that before or heard of it, it's line across the water to a clip the other end, and then it's all slack in the far margin. So it's essentially like I'm fishing the far margin, but while sat over here. As a fish takes out that, pulls out the clip, get a drop back, and you're in. So it's a nice stealthy method. And this one, old school method of casting, and that's been straight to the corner of the island, and all of them relatively heavy on the bait actually, but mainly corn and 10mm boilies, so nothing big, because I think these fish are heavily fed on maize. So I've gone for small baits, but stinky baits, and hopefully that does the trick. I did have one earlier. I don't know if you've seen that on your camera. You didn't come around the film actually, so you wouldn't have seen. I've had one.
I didn't, but at this point we will chuck a photo of that.
There'll be a photo
now.
chucked in. So it was a lovely little scaly, not what this lake is known for, size-wise. It was one of the small ones that probably slipped through the net, but it's a start. It's a blank saver, and it's something to build on, which is the main thing.
Right, and guys, so I've come down to my left-hand margin where I dropped that left-hand rod and walked the line back. So, other than the PVA mesh bags of pellet that went out with a cast, I've not put out any other bait at the moment. So, because this is on the inside margin that I can easily reach, I am going to put a bit of bait on this rod to go into the night. My thinking is just put a little bit of bait on this rod and just kind of feel my way into the session and see how the fish react to a bit of bait. The people who run the place, that own the place, they've already said to us, yellow is the one to be on here. Before this opened up to fishing, these fish were fed on maize. So, because that's what the fish have been used to feeding on, they've basically said anything yellow hook baits, yellow offerings. So your corn, your maize, your yellow hook baits is the one to be on those, which is why I've done the yellow wafters as my hook baits. So I've brought down a couple of buckets. So I've brought down some boilie chops, which aren't yellow, but we'll get to that in a minute. So just gonna, just a few, and then we do have the yellow offering. So just a little kind of half scoop of sweet corn onto that spot, and then this will be my kind of like my my feeler, kind of to judge how to bait the rest of the session. Or I might completely ignore this and put a load of bait in tomorrow anyway. I don't know yet, but yeah, because this is the inside rod that I can bait easily, I thought, well, I'll use this one as the kind of the marker. Right guys, I'm actually putting a little bit of effort into me fishing before it gets dark. So me and Joe have been sat here in my swim, sort of, you know, chewing the fat and what have you. But while we've been sat here, a fish has boshed out twice, if I move back out the way, right on the corner of the island, but kind of the other side of the island, if you were kind of looking at the island from this side. So, yeah, I can't ignore that I've seen a fish bosh out on that spot twice. And there is a little bit of fizzing just behind it now as we speak. So I've wound in 2 of my rods. The rod that was down the left hand margin, even though I'd put some bait on that not long ago, I've disregarded that spot now because the way the line was going across the front of the platform, I thought, well, if I get a bite on that rod, it's going to be a bit of a landing nightmare. So the rod I cast over to the tree on the far bank, we've left that one there, but we've leaped that, frog that to the middle rod now. We're stuck with a margin low. Instead of doing the left margin, because my rods are on the right hand side of the platform here, I've done exactly the same, but I've gone down the right hand margin. Same again as what I did before, just lowered the rig in and walked the line back. And then this is now going to be my left hand rod to that island. So I'll just quickly chuck the bare lead over there when I wound the rod in, put it around the wrap sticks. It's 10.5 wraps. As you can see, we've got a fresh PVA bag of, mesh bag of pellet. So we're gonna put it on the edge of the island. Oh, on the money, where the fish was showing. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been very good angling on my part, to be fair, if I hadn't put a rod on that spot, guys. When, got to be fair, up to this point, not a lot's been shown at my end, but when it does, it would be bad angling if I didn't react on it. So fingers crossed, guys, that casting to a showing fish will produce a result. But what I might do with a right hand rod is mimic what I did earlier on with just putting a little bit of bait on that spot instead. So at least we've got one rod on bait. And it's still fish showing there now, so fingers crossed, guys.
Good morning, guys. Not quite fully morning yet, but 4:20 in the morning to be precise, and I'm just having to re-rig. One of the things I worried about happening in this swim has happened. Just off to my left there's like an overflow, but it's basically like it's concrete or brick or whatever and yeah, I've had a run, absolutely screaming one toner, guys. Middle rod, the rod that that's fishing off to towards that tree on the far bank, and yeah, the fish kited left, and yeah, I was trying to like obviously pull it back towards me before the fish got to that got to the overflow, but the fish, one line scraped up the bricks of the overflow thing, and yeah, cut me off. Absolutely gutted. So, been waiting. Oh, how long have we been fishing now? Probably 12, probably 14 hours. And yeah. Damn it. Absolutely gutted. I hope that's not my only chance, because I've just had to cut a load of line off as well, where the line was all scuffed, where it had scraped along the brickwork of the overflow. God, my fingers are shaking because it's freezing cold. Oh. So yeah, that was my one concern about when we got here. I said to Joe, you have this swim, because there was fish showing up the other end. But my one worry was that overflow, and yeah. My worry was realised, obviously, if it had been during the day and, you know, I'd have been awake and up and, you know, would have got to the rod a lot quicker, that probably wouldn't have happened. But oh, that's not pulled down tight. But hey ho. But here we are, 4:30 in the morning, having to re-rig because it has happened. Damn it. Right guys, we have a fish in the net, and I can tell you what a palaver it was. Left hand rod that I recast to the edge of the island, where I thought fish showing yesterday that I said that can't be ignored, I have to put a rod on it. That's the one that's just gone. 9:10 in the morning now. But what a palaver, and I wouldn't have landed it without Joe. I had to shout out to Joe, because the same thing happened again as last night. The fish come straight towards me and literally targeted that overflow concrete thing, whatever the technical name for it is. Do you know what they...
I think it's technically known as an annoyance.
Yeah, yeah, honestly, it literally went straight for it, and the fish just... It's kind of like shaped like a sort of a big letter C, and the fish just literally sat right behind it and then didn't move. Like the fish knows to use it for protection. So I shouted out to Joe, fish on, and then literally as Joe was running down, that's when the fish kind of went into the kind of the alcove of the overflow. And I was like, well, that's me buggered.
We should have filmed it, because it was...
I didn't have my camera ready at the time. Yeah, but absolute teamwork landed that fish, thanks to Joe, because he's got, what do you call it, a Nash bushwhacker, and he put on a load of sections, and he managed to flick the bushwhacker spoon over the overflow somehow. I don't know how you managed to do it, but
I think it helped that the fish must have come back a bit for us.
But yeah, basically pinged the line off of the overflow. Then I come down the side, so my line was kind of going, kind of over the bushwhacker kind of thing. Yeah, it was not your conventional way of getting a fish in, that was for sure.
That is it, that's the main thing.
But yeah, absolute teamwork landed that fish, guys. Otherwise that would have been another re-rig. In fact, at some point when the fish goes back, I'm going to have to run me fingers along about 3 or 4 rod lengths of line just to make sure my line isn't damaged and frayed, because But the main thing is, we've landed one now, but what a palaver, thanks to Joe as well, that is. Thought I had a fish bosh, it didn't.
No, I'm going to leave this here set up in case you need to do that again.
Alright, but yeah. Right, let's get sorted and then we can have a look at this fish that was almost another lost one. Right guys, so this is the result of the teamwork for me and Joe. Obviously I did most of the work, but you know, it's but this looks like, from the condition of its mouth, a completely uncorked fish. There is literally no mouth damage apart from my little hook hold, which I've just treated with the propolis to make it all nice and healthy for another angler to catch. But there we go guys, second run but first one landed. Yeah, and it wouldn't have been landed without Joe's help. It would have been another lost fish. But 16-2, caught on one of the little Hinders test yellow wafters, mounted to I don't know what you call the rig. What do you call it, Joe? One of them Gemini booms?
That's a combi, isn't it?
Oh, combi, yeah, a combi rig, a Gemini boom with one of the cord loops attached to it. Like I say, these just went out with the old mesh bagger pellet. Yeah, and it's finally resulted in a landed fish. Let's have a quick look at the other side, guys. Yeah, honestly thought this was going to be another lost one, but it's landed. Awesome. And cheers, Joe, for knocking it off the overflow.
See another fish on the bank.
Oh, right, a few stills. I'll get her back. Right, guys, so that rod to go back out. So obviously I'm going to put it back on that spot where the fish just come from. But what I've done, actually, let's get the rod out first, then I'll explain. Right, same rig. I've just had to put a fresh hook on because that other hook had gone blunt. So fresh hook bait. Oh, the wind's taking out a bit. Oh, right. The wind took that a bit round to the right, not as close as to the island as where the other one went, but we'll leave it there for now. Right, so what I've done is I've put a single set of bank sticks and one of my lambs further down the bank here, so it will keep the rod tip high. Get the line over that overflow, which we've now been told is called a monk. And yeah, down here, guys, I've put a single set of bank sticks with one of my lambs to keep kind of, because I want to fish that point of the island. And you know, why would you not, after I've just had a fish from that point? So I put a back lead on first. Obviously the plan is, if I get a run now on this rod, I can just come straight down here and play the fish from this side of the monk or the overflow. And right, guys, you will notice that my rods have been wound in because we've got the use of two lakes. What May and Joe said we'll do is have like a little friendly match on the lower lake, Fat Boys Lake. So the plan is we're going to go down there just for 4 hours and have a little mini match. No prizes, just for bragging rights. We're not going to do the weights of fish. We're just going to do numbers of fish. So whoever's caught the most fish is the winner, basically. So yeah, so I'm going to take a minimal amount of gear down to Fat Boys. There's only 2 swims down there, so obviously one each, and then
yeah, it's gonna just a friendly little mini match, just so we can have a go on that lake as well, and then we'll get the rods back out on this lake after, obviously.
Right, let's get the obligatory joke out of the way.
Yeah.
I know I've already done it in my intro, but
Yeah, you did it better with your actual belly out.
3 hours.
3 hours, mini match,
Ready?
bragging rights.
Go.
Right guys, for this little mini match, I've just brought down my little Fox Explorer 10 footers. They've still got their method feeders attached to them from when I fished Flaxlands a couple of videos ago. Still got some of the method mix made up. All right, let's see if it was still bind, otherwise I'll have to dampen it down a bit. Joe is doing a completely different tactic. He's roving rather than being static. No, it's not binding, so yeah, Joe's being mobile rather than what I'm doing, just being fixed to one spot. My theory is just keep this method feeder going out and just kind of now I've made it too wet. Luckily I did bring down some more method mixed. I can see Joe from where I'm fishing. I don't think he's had anything yet. Or has he? I don't know. So from this perspective, guys, I'm with the other side of Fat Boys Lake. You can kind of get a perspective of how these three new lakes are. So as I said yesterday, this is on the lower level. You can see kind of Joe's bivvy is on the next level up, you know, Xanadu that we're on. And if you can maybe just make out the car park. Hey. Joe's just whistled to me that he's in. But yeah, you can just about make out next level up on the Catfish Lake is where the car park is. So how they kind of stepped up or stepped down if you're up there. But yeah, at the moment, Joe's winning. He's just into his first fish. Right, just been up to my swim on Xanadu, guys, and just picked up me wafter hook baits, the same test ones that I'm fishing with up there. But up there I'm fishing with just the yellow. I've brought the pinks down with me as well this time, so I'm going to do one on the yellow, one on the pink, and and while I was passing Joe, he was just showing his fish to his camera, and I said this is meant to be like the runs water, smaller fish water, and the fish he had just now was bigger than the one he had yesterday off of Xanadu. We did find out from the owners that they left one small fish in Xanadu because it was really pretty, and that just happened to be the one that Joe caught. So he literally did catch the smallest fish in the lake, which is quite funny. Let's put the pink out first. Like I said, even though they've told us yellow is the one and that's what we're fishing with, I just thought, as this is the runs water, you would think the fish Let's call it the runs water. The lake is about an acre and it's got 120 fish, I think they told us up the shop yesterday. So if you want to call 120 fish in a 1 acre runs water, you can. If you don't want to, then don't. Right guys, my first fish from Fat Boys Lake, a nice little common. Oh, lively one. It's probably not. Come on, calm down. Yeah, it's probably not quite double figures, maybe 8-9 pound or so. But yeah, so Joe's had one, I've had one each on the little mini match. As I said, we're not doing it by weight, we're doing it by numbers, so 1 each. Right then guys, as you can see, just a flatbed method feeder like I was fishing in my Flaxlands video, short hook link, and this is the one with the pink hook bait, because we've had a catch now on the yellow, and they've told us all along yellow is the one to be on here. Pink's going to come off, and yellow on this one as well. So, obviously it's just a friendly match, but even though you still want to win. There we go. Oh, here we go then guys, take number 2. I've not long recently recast back to the island. This is the one I've put back on a, started on the pink, now we're on the yellow. So Joe is still roving around the lake, I'm staying static. Just, oh, that's it, it's another nice little match lake size fish, exactly what we knew we'd be fishing for, and there we go, fish number 2. There we go guys, here's that second fish, probably 5-6 pound at best. So yeah, fish number 2 and puts me in the lead. Joe's just had his second fish guys, so Okay, we're now back to being equal. Like I said, we're fishing completely different tactics. He's roving and fishing with PV bags. I'm staying static and fishing the method feeder, so it's quick and easy to do recasts. But at the moment, there's no difference to each. Right guys, as it stands, we've got 30 minutes of our little mini match left. So at the rate we've been catching a fish, I eat 2 each now. I reckon whoever can catch the next one, it will it could get the win. So I've not fished down my left hand margin yet. So I've had one off the island, I've had one down my right hand margin, I'm going to try down my left hand margin. Alright guys, we've got about 15 minutes of the match left and we're still on 2 fish each. So we've just said what we'll do is if the match ends in a draw, we will fish on, so basically go to sudden death. So it's getting tense. So I'd say possibly I've got the advantage because I can wind in, do another thing on the method really quick and recast, where Joe's got to make bags before he does a recast. Oh, fingers crossed for the last 15 minutes. If one of us gets a fish in the last 15 minutes, that'll be a winner, I think. Right guys, so we're now at sudden death. It's 2 o'clock now. We're at the time now where we said we'd call it, and it's still 2 each. So Joe is walking around the lake looking for the fish. I've just recast both rods into basically the spots where I've had my 2 fish from, which is the right hand margin and off the end of the island. So come on, it's sudden death now. Right, and guys, even though I'm wearing a wireless mic, I'm gonna have to stand with me back to the wind. I've had a move for the last kind of 20 minutes of the match. I've come right down to the end, the wind is blowing, so yeah, I've got the wind right in my face. It's blooming freezing, but I'm thinking if the fish are on the wind, then they might be up here. So literally, Joe's at one end, I'm at the other end now, and we've got literally 15. Oh, oh. God. Right, I'm gonna have to hold this because it's so windy. It blew over the tripod. So yeah, it's yeah, down to the wire. I think if it's still 2-2, we're just gonna call it a draw, guys. So yeah, God, it's bloody windy down this end, but I'm thinking fish might be on the wind, so yeah, fingers crossed for the next 15 minutes, guys. Well guys, Curly's won it with we give us a time, and the time literally has just ended. Curly got into a fish and landed it literally right on the death of the time we said we'd call it and go back up to Xanadu Lake. So well done, Joe, you won 3-2. It was a close one, low, but yeah, if Joe hadn't have had that one when he did, we was going to call it a draw because it just seemed to go a bit dead down here. So well done, Joe. Right guys, so we're back up on Xanadu.
Feeling very smug. Feeling very smug.
And very big, but Joe's got a bit of a confession to make, haven't you, mate?
A little one, yeah. Okay, I come clean. I've told Chris on my cameras, as he told me yesterday that his eyesight isn't the best, and we were at the complete opposite ends of the lake each. I convinced him that I caught a fish at the end, where in natural fact I was just reeling in my rig. So it ended 2-2. I didn't catch one at the death.
You bloody bugger.
Convinced you, I could see it. It was
You
so
did.
funny. I was on camera, I was like, I can see him the other end doing this, looking like he thinks I've got one.
Yeah, I did. I thought you'd had it right at the death.
I'm sorry, but yeah, it ended all square, and I think that's fair as fair. That's
Yeah,
about the,
nice.
fair
It was a
result.
close one, wasn't it? You went 1 up, then it was 1-1, then 2-1 to me, then
Yeah.
2-2. So it was
Exactly.
like a close football match.
Yeah,
Not
we
that I
kept
like
on. We
football.
kept on sticking on an extra half an hour, but it wasn't happening. So
Yeah,
I
we
think now
fished a
it's-
bit beyond the time we said we would to try and. But I think all fair is all square is fair enough, isn't it?
Definitely. Now it's time to focus back on air.
It is indeed. Try and-
Battle this wind, which is just relentless.
Right,
Nice.
catch you later, you cheeky bugger. Right then, guys, so I've come round to the far bank of where I'm fishing now. I'm dead opposite my swim now, and this is the tree that I'm aiming to on a 1 rod. So as I've had a fish, I thought now's a good time to put some bait out. So I've just brought round some of my sweet corn. The yellow, as the fishery has been telling us, is what the fish are attracted to. But I've also brought round some of the 10mm blitz boilies. So yeah, I'm just going to bait up a little area in front of this tree here. But, God, this wind is absolutely relentless, guys. It's yeah, I'm not going to be fishing tight to the bank because I'm sure there's a bit of a ledge or where it slopes off a little bit, so I think you need to be a few foot out. And then the good old Jolly Green Giants. Just put a nice little. Don't have to worry about too much of sweet corn. As the fish like it, but it doesn't fill them up too much. Right, I'm now going to go back and bait up the corner island spot as well from this side of the bank. Right, guys, and then we are now end of the island. It's conveniently right in line with this pipe here that flows down from the Catfish Lake. Oh, this wind just isn't giving up. So this spot I'm baiting now is obviously where we've had that landed fish from. So we'll get a bit of bait on it now. Oh, perfect. But we'll also put a pouch out a little bit further out just in case, like my cast earlier on, the wind doesn't let it land where that's a nice spread of the 10mm. And same with the sweet corn as well. Right, lovely jubbly. Let's go and get the rod sorted. Right, guys, God, this wind is an absolute nightmare. Right, so 3 fresh rigs are not tied up, baited up. Same rig, that combi rig consisting of the Gemini boom with the old Corda, loops. Still using the yellow test wafters from Hinders, and I'm going to make up 3 more. Where did I just put the... yeah, so I'm going to do the 3 bags of pellet as well to go on the rigs when the rods go out. Even though we've put a bit of bait in for going in for this evening's fishing, I still want this on the hook so that there's a concentrated patch of bait for the fish to actually home in on. And as we know, pellet is probably about the... oh, where's my scissors? There they are. Yeah, pellet's probably the most attractive way of doing that, as they break down, giving off all their smells and attractions. So I use the lid of the Corda PVA tube, and that then conveniently makes a perfect kind of golf ball size. I wouldn't even say quite golf ball size, just under golf ball size of pellets, which is about the right size to hook onto your rig when you're casting out. I'm sure it wasn't planned that way by Corda, it's just a nice little happy coincidence. This pellet of course is consistent of the ellipse pellet from Hinders in 4mm, 6mm and 8mm, so there's a nice range of sizes for, you know, your different breakdown times and the times that the pellet start giving off their attraction, or on the flip side, how long they will last giving off the attraction. Oh. Right, that's the 3 bags done. Right, and guys, second rod to go out. First rod I've already put out. I've put it kind of on the inside right hand sort of margin. It's only about 2 rod lengths down the bank to my right, and I'd say maybe 6-7 foot out from the bank. There's a bit of reeds that come out first for a few foot, and then I've got another sort of 3 or 4 foot beyond the reeds. Did that one off camera just to save a bit of time. So this is my middle rod. That's going to go over towards that tree that we've not long baited up from. I hope you can see this all right, because I've got the camera down low, because if I put the camera any higher on the tripod, the wind blows it over. So this incidentally was the rod that I had the fish on this morning, and I know that because about 2 rod lengths worth of the line was all scuffed up, so I've obviously just cut all that off, but then retied the tubing and you know, that bit. So perfect, right in front of the tree, even though the wind I aimed about 6 foot to the left of the tree to allow for the wind, and that has dropped perfectly to where I put the bait in. Right guys, third and final rod, the rod to the edge of the island over there where I had the fish from this morning. I mean, it might go to the edge of the island, it could go anywhere to be fair with this wind. We just have to hope for the best. And then as with earlier on, I've moved a single set of bank sticks to the other side of the monk now, so once the rod is out, I'll put that rod down there, so if we do have a run, it will the line will be that side of the monk, which is what they call that overflow drain point. Right, like I said, I was going to try and wait for a moment where the wind's dying off, but I don't think there is a moment where the wind's going to die off, so I think I'm just going to have to go for it and hope for the best. Oh, well, I've got to be fair guys, that absolutely landed on the money. I aimed for the island, to be fair, allowing the wind to take it. But the wind did its job and made that land absolute perfect. Right then guys, good evening. It's now the evening of our second night. Just thought I'd do a quick update. Wind has died down enough that we can do a quick chin wag without having too much wind noise. Sun's dropping, so won't be long before it's getting dark. But I just thought I'd come and see Joe. I mean, I've been seeing Joe all day.
Yeah,
but
we have been fishing next,
yeah,
like 30 yards apart.
I mean, see Joe on camera just so I can see, ask you if you're doing the same thing.
Rinse and repeat, to be honest. I do feel more confident this evening because everything, I just generally find if I'm doing 2 nights, the second night I feel more confident. Everything's a bit more settled. I know what I'm doing.
Nothing's changed.
Not really.
Washing line rigs on 2, bottom bait on 1. Well,
They're all the
baits,
same.
but...
They're all the same. They're all actually yellow wafters. Now that you've had 2 bites on yellow wafters. I've changed from my normal, I normally have a wafter-ish presentation, sort of snowman, but I've gone for 2. Well, all 3, sorry, are on little yellow wafters, dumbbells.
Yeah, and you've shown your rig quite in depth on your
I have
video.
on my channel, yeah. Both of them, my solid bag rig earlier and this one on here. So I'm just hoping that I now catch something, because I've done a whole rig piece and it always falls a bit flat if you don't catch, but I'm feeling good.
Yeah, same as that. I'm doing the same again. The only slight difference, I've put bait in today where I didn't yesterday.
You've put effort in, you mean?
Yeah.
You actually walk around the lake. I saw you walk the other side of the lake, thought, crikey, he's going for it tonight.
Yeah, no pub chucking.
No pub check-in. But it's done you better than me, to be fair. I had that one yesterday and nothing else. You had 2 bites.
So yeah, well, one rod landed nice, thanks to the wind, dropped nicely, right where I wanted it. But yeah, all 3 rods are on bait now, so if baiting doesn't work, I kind of feel it doesn't matter now because I've had a fish,
Yeah,
but
pressure's off.
I'm feeling if they do want some bait, then hopefully it will work, kind of thing. So yeah, pressure's off. If it doesn't work, it doesn't. If it does, it does.
Yeah. Right, I got a little bit of wine calling me over there and I'm hungry, so I think we sit down before it gets dark and cold again, I'm sure.
Ditto. I'm a bit peckish. I've got
Tin stuff again?
I have, but I've got a boil in the bag rice to do tonight, which takes like 15 minutes to cook, so I've got to
that's
go and do that.
That's a lot of work. That's aggro, that is. 15 minutes. Yesterday you were eating within 5.
My culinary delights.
Nice.
Right. Hopefully be able to see one of us in the night, guys. Fingers crossed.
I love how that was your quick update as well.
Yeah,
5 minutes.
A quick update. Lasted about 5 minutes. All right, fingers crossed to see you in the night, guys.
Sorry, very rude of me. I just exit stage left.
Right, guys, so it's not even midnight. In fact, it's exactly midnight now. So I've just been woken up by fish number 2, or fish number 2 from this lake if you don't count the 2 we had earlier on. And as I was playing the fish, I heard Joe shout out, "Oh, go on, Fennel." Landed it. He come over and he went, "Oh, it's in the net already." I said, yeah. And he goes, "Oh, I've got one in the net too." So yeah, pretty much identical times. Well, probably Joe 2 or 3 minutes before me just netted one, then I've got one. So that's pretty cool. So I'm not sure whose fish we're going to look at first, mine or Joe's, but yeah, the next footage will be me with my fish or Joe with his fish.
Solid fish though, isn't it? Ooh. And there we have my wake up call. It's just gone midnight and I've actually put the rod back out whilst this one was rested, so I'm fishing efficiently again with all 3 rods. And as I said, this one came on the island rod, so not the one that I put all the effort in, getting the line across onto the washing line, nice and discreet, just a simple cast to the island. Quite a bit of bait around it actually. I strung some bait between the island and my left hand washing line rig. But yeah, this is the one that did the business. At £19, it's not quite at the £20 mark we were hoping we might get above, but there's still plenty of time to come. And Chris actually landed one as I was playing this, so there's a definite little bite window. Not that far apart from each other, so maybe the fish have moved down here from being up at the other end of the lake in the day. Who knows? But 2 bites in quick succession is very, very welcome. Happy days. Thank you. Let's get you back.
Right, guys, so we've literally just seen Joe's fish and now it's my turn. So I think this is an evening for fish on the nose, isn't it, mate? Because Joe's was 19 on the nose. This one, 18 on the nose.
Actually, sorry, mine was 19 dead.
Oh, 19 dead, yeah. This one's 18 alive. So All right, perhaps it just wants the other side shown. So there we go, the other side, guys. So yeah, this was on the middle rod from the same spot where I caught that fish this morning. Yeah, as we've just said, 18 pound on the nose. Yeah, that combi rig, the Gemini boom, matched up with the Corda loop, the yellow dumbbell wafter from Hinders, which is a test bait. And as we've seen, this was over a bed of bait this time, so yeah, all good. So 3 runs from this flake, 2 landed, lovely jubbly. Oh, good morning everybody, and what a lovely morning it is. Had a gorgeous sunrise this morning. We've got absolutely clear blue skies this morning. The sun was looking very orange this morning, and it just yeah, as it shone down on the lake this morning, it was a very nice and serene place to wake up to, if not cold to wake up to. Low temperatures got down to about 2 or 3 degrees in the night, and there was a bit of a frost on everything first thing this morning. But yeah, kind of had a sort of busy night at one point, with both me and Joe practically landing fish at more or less the same time. And then on my side of it, nothing else after that. Joe, I've spoke to Joe already. He's he had a bit of issue at kind of early hours this morning, 3 o'clock this morning, with the ducks flying through his one of his washing line setups, and yeah, he had to reset a rod kind of at 3 o'clock in the morning, so he wasn't happy about that. But it's absolutely lovely this morning. So, but yesterday the weather app said it was meant to be, the winds were meant to be getting up today, kind of as much as it was yesterday. And at the moment it's not looking like it. Flat calm. It's just, apart from it being quite chilly, it's just a rather lovely morning. A final decent sized fish to end the session would be nice, a nice way to end it. I mean, this is meant to be the specimen lake, so you know, to at least get a fish into the 20s would be a nice way to top it off. But hey ho, you can't control what takes your bait. But it is all yeah, very lovely morning. It is obviously pack up day today, though. It's what's the time now? It's pretty much just coming to 8 o'clock now, and we're going to be off around about midday. So there's only about 4 hours of fishing time left. But this is about the time I had my first landed fish yesterday, so there's definitely time for another bite yet. Right guys, that is it. We've come to the end of our 48-hour session now on Angler's Paradise. First of all, thanks to Joe, Nothing But Fishing, for having me.
You're welcome.
Having me up here, because it's thanks to him and through the catch app that we're up here.
Yeah, it's long overdue session together as well.
Yeah, it is. We've been saying for years, haven't we, that we need to do a collab, and
We chose
yeah.
the windiest time ever.
Yeah. Not just from the weather.
Hey, there we go.
So, yeah, also thanks to the guys here at Anglers Paradise for having us on board to do these little videos. Mm-hmm. My little video, big video, of course.
Well, it depends. Yours are quite lengthy, aren't they? We'll have to see whose is going to be longer.
But I reckon mine's longer.
Very likely,
and the video. Buddy. Anyway,
what's there?
thanks for watching, guys. Of course, most of you will already know Nothing But Fishing, but if you don't, you know, link in the description.
Description in the link.
Yeah, not like we said in yours. Yeah, what a fitting way to end the video, guys, by the main sign as you enter the complex. It's just time to go home now, isn't it?
Yes. Warm up. This wind is getting through me now.
Yeah, but yeah, been a good session, guys.
Bring it in. Let's close it in.
Oh, yeah, it's been a typical early spring session, hasn't it?
Yes.
Where it's been summer-like days, but winter-like nights.
I mean, you probably can't hear from the mics we're sheltered here. Those trees are waving around.
Yeah, so we've had 2 fish each from each lake. Are you happy with that?
Very much so. And I think the fact that it was a frost this morning just compounds the fact that it's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
So it's only up from here, hopefully.
Mainly for me, it wasn't a blank. My blanking run has finally ended, so I'm happy with that.
I'm glad I brought you good luck.
Yeah, you did. We'll have to do it more often.
I'm hitting the road. You've got a long journey as well.
We will see each other again in 3 months' time at the Blogger Social.
Yes.
Merrington Fishery. Look out for that one, guys. Till my next video, until we see each other, see you later.
Well, I don't know if you had like an outro. Like
yeah, I'm just going to go this way.
I'll go. Well, cars are this way, so don't forget your rubbish.